stuck on its ideological crusade that it would rather see the end of the world than the end of their power, because the end of their power for them is the end of their world. It's not the end of the world, but it's the end of their world as they see it. And they would rather end the world than let that happen.
So before we go up there, I have to say thank you, Kevin Baptiste 7976 for the $3 super chat. What do you say about looking back, hindsight 2020, of what you were the examples that you were given and what we see going on right now?
Well, I think the things that I said still hold. I talked about financialization, which I'm saying again here. I'm talking about really the kind of, like, it's almost like a death wish, but essentially they're saying better dead than red. Better, we would rather end the planet than see anybody else than live in a world of equals. And of course, everything I said about supply chains is true, but also more explicitly what I didn't get into but could have earlier was rare earth elements, right? Mm-hmm. So not simply that there are hundreds of thousands of components that are manufactured in China, that are in everything that we use, but also in electronics. Everything that is electronic from the 1960s and 70s onwards involves rare earth elements. Now, rare earth elements are what allow you to transduce electrical current and turn it into something useful. The circuit itself transforms, amplifies, oscillates, gates, switches, etc., the electrical current. But ultimately, for you to have something useful from that electrical current requires a rare earth element. Your speakers have rare earth elements. And if they didn't have rare earth elements, they would be the size or the weight of bowling balls. Everything that we use, the screen that you're looking at, the phosphorescence involves rare earth elements. So rare earth elements are critical. China has a 90% monopoly on the production of rare earth elements. They are essentially what make modern society possible, to the extent that modern society involves electronics. And so if that were to be shut down in case of war, we would see, massive disruptions and transformations in the standard of living. We would be living, like the Amish, but, even before then. So I think we have to understand that, as I said, we really are, the world is conjoined and connected. We cannot wage war against each other. You do not want to go to war against your key supplier, your key supply chain provider. If you do, you're essentially engaging in a death wish. But, as I said, what is going through the mind of the ruling imperial elite? Why don't they see this? I think there's some real blind spots there. And that blindness is the blindness of power and privilege. Those who are powerful and privileged think that they don't need to see reality, that they can impose their will on it.
Thank you again, my friend, for joining me on this edition of the Red Pill Diary. As always, you hit it out of the park. I really appreciate it. I'll send you the video. And be blessed and safe also.
You too. Thank you so much. Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure with you. Everybody, listen, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe or think about subscribing. They continue to pigeonhole me, and they take me out of the algorithm. They take my subscribers. They take my view counts. And we know that they're artificially suppressing this, but you continue to see that I bring on some of the best people that are out there. I have the top notch, and I think KJ is one of, and I've told him this behind closed doors, I think he's one of the best out there, period. So please subscribe and like, share. Feel free to share the video. And I want to say this as I always say before I go out. Do right by others, not because there's some material gain or because there's some accolades to be had. Do right by others because it's the the humane and the godly thing to do. Because even when no one else is watching you, remember that God Almighty is watching you. And as my late, great, and beautiful mother would always say, God sits high on the throne of power, but he looks low at the actions of man. Know that I love each and every one of you who loves truth, but know that the love that I have for you will always pale in comparison to the love that the divine supreme being has for you. Until we next speak again, stay strong, stay true, but above all things, remember to stay righteous. Hey, mama, your baby boy loves you more than life. Thank you, everybody. We're out of here. Deuces. Peace.
Told you to walk away. That was my first and last mistake. I'm blue without your face. But what can I do? 'Cause I'm just a sinking ship, and you're just a pair of lips that I've lost in the